Remember those nights glued to the TV watching Jack Grealish light up the Premier League for Villa? Then boom, the transfer that sent shockwaves. £100 million to Manchester City, the biggest price tag ever slapped on an English player. Grealish, the guy who used to paint the pitch with his skill, seems to have disappeared and is now stuck warming the bench. Seriously, what the hell happened to Jack Grealish? We're gonna answer that question now, so make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on another video from this channel. Jack Grealish's past season with Manchester City has been marked by a significant decline in his position among the team's forwards, raising questions about his future with the club, as the 28-year-old player struggles to regain his form amidst injuries and increased competition. We gotta analyze the factors contributing to his downturn and the potential steps forward. Here's the thing, there's no single, simple answer to why Grealish has fallen on hard times at City. It's a perfect storm of factors: injuries, adapting to a new system, and fierce competition for playing time. Grealish's season has been marred by injuries, the most notable being a severe setback due to a collision with Sheffield United's Ollie McBurnie at the end of August. This injury, which Grealish described as his worst ever, has significantly impacted his performance. Further worsening his situation was an injury sustained during a Champions League match against Copenhagen. Despite initially attempting to continue playing after a strong collision with Diogo Goncalves, Grealish was eventually forced to leave the field. These injuries have not only hindered his fitness, but also affected his confidence and rhythm on the pitch. Grealish's struggle for a consistent spot in Manchester City's lineup has been made worse by the signing of Jeremy Doku from Rennes. Doku's immediate impact, characterized by his speed and physical strength, has starkly contrasted with Grealish's performance. In a match against Brighton, Doku's early goal highlighted his swift adaptation to City's playstyle, while Grealish's later entry into the game failed to make a significant impact. This competition has intensified the pressure on Grealish to perform, making it difficult for him to reclaim his former prominence within the team. Pep Guardiola's demanding managerial style and tactical expectations have also posed challenges for Grealish. Guardiola's approach often requires players to adapt to specific roles and responsibilities that align with his strategic vision. For Grealish, who was accustomed to being the focal point at Aston Villa, adjusting to a more structured and possession-based style at City has been a complex process. Guardiola's public dressing down of Grealish following a draw with Arsenal exemplifies the high expectations and scrutiny he faces. Such incidents, broadcast live, can be demoralizing and contribute to the perception of Grealish struggling to meet the manager's standards. Beyond injuries and competition, off-field issues have also played a role in Grealish's tumultuous season. A burglary in his home where valuable items were stolen added to the personal challenges he faced. These distractions can affect a player's focus and mental state, further complicating their ability to perform consistently at the highest level. Grealish's difficulties are not confined to his club performances. On the international stage, he has struggled to secure a regular spot in Gareth Southgate's England lineup. Despite his exceptional passing and playmaking abilities, Southgate appears to be reserved about deploying him in crucial matches. Grealish's underwhelming recent performances for England have raised concerns about his place in the squad for the upcoming Euro 2024. Liverpool legend Graham Souness's comments that Grealish seemed to be nearing the end of his career highlighted the growing skepticism about his future prospects. Amidst these challenges, there have been suggestions that Grealish might benefit from seeking a new team in the summer transfer window. Although he is under contract with Man City until 2027, the idea of a fresh start in a different environment could be appealing. AC Milan has been linked with securing his signature, offering a potential opportunity for Grealish to revitalise his career. There have been rumours of interest from Chelsea, perhaps a team where he could rediscover his attacking freedom. The truth is, Grealish might need a change of scenery to reignite his spark. From a financial perspective, Grealish's potential transfer could involve significant sums, considering his status as one of the most expensive signings in Premier League history. However, the decision to stay or leave will ultimately depend on his personal aspirations and professional goals. If his primary focus remains on winning trophies, staying at Manchester City might be the right choice. However, if he harbours ambitions of becoming one of the best players in the Premier League, a new experience could provide the platform to prove himself once again. Despite the challenges, Guardiola has expressed hope that Grealish will return to his peak levels. The manager's comments reflected a belief in Grealish's potential to regain his form and compete with the outstanding players in the squad. However, the public nature of Guardiola's criticisms and the high expectations placed on Grealish suggested that the road to redemption will be tough. The now famous on-field dressing down after the Arsenal draw might have seemed harsh, but some believe it was just a moment of frustration after a crucial dropped point. Guardiola is known for being a demanding manager, and perhaps this was just his way of pushing Grealish to adapt. The reception to Grealish's downturn has been mixed among fans and media. Some supporters are crucial of his output in the front of goal, questioning the value of his £100 million transfer fee. Across 125 appearances for Manchester City, Grealish has scored just 14 goals and provided 18 assists. However, other supporters appreciate his role in retaining and controlling ball possession in advanced areas, recognizing his contributions beyond just goal-scoring metrics. In a candid interview with Sky Sports, Grealish himself acknowledged the differences between his role at Aston Villa and Manchester City. He highlighted the tactical adjustments and reduced risk-taking required in the City's possession-based playstyle. Despite these many challenges, Grealish expressed admiration for Guardiola's footballing philosophy and the ways it has changed his perspective on the game. The situation that Jack Grealish finds himself in right now is a combination of events outside his control and a turning point in his career where time is running out. Undoubtedly, he has suffered from small and major injuries that have made it difficult for him to perform at the best level all the time. It is also impossible to ignore the psychological effects of the break-in at his house. An additional layer of difficulty to his situation is the intense competitiveness within Manchester City's team, where young players such as Doku are expected to make an instant impression. Despite these difficulties, Grealish is still a seasoned player who needs to perform regularly. He is no longer the young prodigy with time on his side. The English tax argument is frequently used by supporters to argue that English players are overpriced and overhyped. Grealish has faced criticism ever since he left Aston Villa for a record-breaking £100 million. But it's important to understand that Grealish's skill is real, and not just the product of media hype. Anyone who has watched his career knows how good he is at passing, dribbling and creating plays. He was the team's pivot at Aston Villa, a player capable of turning a game around on his own. He moved to Manchester City where there were naturally great expectations thanks to his performances. The atmosphere is different in the city. Grealish has had a more complex job because of Pep Guardiola's tactical demands and the depth of talent at his disposal. He is now only a cog in a well-oiled machine rather than a star. There has to be an improvement in this area as the changeover has not been flawless. To integrate into Guardiola's system, Grealish must modify his style of play without sacrificing the style or originality that set him apart at Villa. He needs to demonstrate his ability to win games and work well in a team. Now, Grealish has a hefty burden of proof. We need to see more consistent displays of his talent from the flashes we witnessed last season. Though regrettable, his career cannot be defined by the injuries and personal fails he experienced. Based on his experience and age, Grealish ought to be approaching his prime, when his impact on games will be at its maximum. These are going to be important months. His priority should be maintaining his physical condition, regaining his self-assurance, and most crucially, beginning to provide the kind of performances that live up to the high price and the trust that Guardiola and the Manchester City team and fans have in him. Ultimately, Grealish's narrative is far from concluded. He still has plenty of time to turn things around and become one of the top players in the Premier League. But this change in direction must occur sooner rather than later, because professional football is very competitive. Fans and management's tolerance is limited, and opportunities might disappear rapidly. In the end, Jack Grealish needs to grab the opportunity. Though his talent is indisputable, the English tax debate will never go away. It's time for him to step up, go past the obstacles, and prove to the football community that he's more than simply a gifted kid. He has to demonstrate that going into Euro 2024. He can be an important member of Manchester City's team and an important asset for England. Grealish has a responsibility to perform, and if he does, the story will change from one of unrealised potential to one of success and comebacks. Speaking of comebacks, we hope you can come back to this channel. As always, subscribe, like, and comment your thoughts below. Can Jack Grealish turn things around?